Welcome to the Kushti Racing channel. My name's Kushti and this is my racing journey on Gran Turismo 7. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. I have something a little bit different in this video. This week I haven't played a great deal. I've had 2 days out with my work Christmas do, and quite frankly this week's dailies just haven't really appealed to me. So it's Friday night, and in the spirit of honesty, I'm not entirely sober, and hence my driving here is not the best. But this lobby race was too good to not share with you guys. For any of you who watch this channel regularly, you will know that Group 4 cars are my favourite, and I struggle with anything more powerful. Here we're at Spa in Group 2 cars, 10 minutes of quali followed by a 10-minute race. Whilst I know Spa relatively well, it's definitely not one of my better tracks. Now I apologise in advance because this video is effectively both quali and the race. I wanted to share both with you to show how bad I was in quali and why I started where I did. Timestamps will be in the description if you just wanted to watch one or the other. The race itself has a rolling start in reverse order, and whilst you may notice that I'm the only A+ driver in the lobby, there are a number of very fast drivers in here. So roll on the clips guys and let's see how I go on. So unlike the dailies where you start quali out on track, in the lobby races you start from the pit lane. So we've got 2-minute outlap first of all, and no ability to load a ghost car, so we're just going off our own pace, just getting a feel for the track on this outlap. Come through Eau Rouge and up into Radion. Down into Les Coux. Third gear right hander, third gear through this section. For me it was anyway. In these Group 2 cars you can brake a little bit later than my normal braking points, and certainly in the Group 4 cars, probably even a bit later than the Group 3 cars as well. I go wide there on the exit, straight into the barrier, spoiled the outlap of all laps, but it is only an outlap, so we figured another minute of the lap still to go at least, and that damage that we've got on the front bumper will repair itself. We have got dirty tyres, we end up going wide. So we a little bit of swerving just to try and clean the tyres off a touch. Just trying to get a feel for the track on this opening lap. Notice there, if you ride the inside curb slightly, it does kick the back end round. And whilst you'll also notice that got a little bit wide on the entry into Blanchemont, giving me a penalty, so whilst we cancel that, no point having a penalty on the actual lap, so we'll go again. We're now a quarter of the way into the qualification time. Still enough time to do 4 laps, so it should be okay. Ribs there parked on the in the pit exit for some reason. Down from La Source into Eau Rouge, up into Radion, down the Camel Straight. You get the slipstream down here, ever so powerful. Into Les Coux. Too wide on the exit there. It's only the outlap. I don't even know why I'm pushing so hard, it's annoying. So again, I'll restart again. And now I've got 6.5, just under 6.5 minutes left. Enough time, I'm thinking 3 laps. I've got 3 laps, I've got my outlap, two hot laps, maybe a third hot lap if I can get around quick enough. Bit tight that, to be fair, but maybe. And third time lucky, right? So
back down the hill again, up the other side. The outlap is significantly slower down this down the Camel Straight than it is either during the race or when you're on the quali lap. And what I think I'd forgotten, actually, if I'm honest with you, but we did have a tiny little bit of practice, maybe half a lap or something, before this quali started. And my intention was to run on traction control 2 in these Group 2 cars, just to give myself a little bit of a buffer in case I made a mistake. I can't recall if I put traction control on 2 at the start of this run. Every time I click retry, traction control goes back to 0, so that's my default settings. But again, we're just trying to focus on getting a nice clean outlap this time after stuffing out twice already. So not particularly pushing, but equally I'm still trying to find the right braking points, the right turning points, the speed through the corners, getting the best exits, etc, etc. Slightly distracted by someone in the room there trying to talk to me. Nearly hit Chet, just about managed to miss him. And we're finally down at the chicane without a penalty, without having stacked it. So we think, right, we're away, just got to do that one more time and we should be okay. Rimac Murray's fastest so far with 2:10. I definitely didn't get the maximum out of this car in either quali or the race, if I'm honest. The clip at the start is basically a replay from a custom race that I did earlier today before putting this video together, and I was setting 2:04s, so 2:10 is well within my reach. And I definitely was nowhere near 2:04 in either race or quali in this video. Come through Lake Coombe, and the more I drove this car, the more I realised actually you're better off not revving it out. Didn't really appreciate that too much at the time. I did kind of notice it, but I was still tending to change up once I got to the top of the rev range. Because actually you can flick up to the next gear probably on about 3/4 rev and it's quicker. Come through this little technical section here to be quite careful on the exit of that one that you don't end up in the gravel. And then out of Stabilo here, like I say, just you want to ride that inside curve a little bit, gets the back end round, and you can go flat out down to Blanchemont. Again, try not to get a penalty there on the way into, and there you go, penalty. I can't believe it. You can see probably from my facial expression I'm not particularly happy. I go too deep into the chicane as well. And of course the lap won't count. The fastest lap time at the moment is Shimi at 2:08.6. Just set a 2:08 dead, or 2:80 at least. So I've got 6 tenths on Shimi, I know that. And annoyingly, there's now less than 2 minutes to go on the quali clock. I don't know if I'm going to get round. I think it's highly unlikely I'm going to get round and have a chance for another lap, and I've got a penalty on this lap. So I'm already resigned to that fact. There's no point in trying to start again. There isn't enough time to start again, otherwise I won't set any lap time at all. So just got to suck this one up. There was a this is PlayStation Racers lobby, Mitchell Morgan's lobby, and after quali there was an accusation that someone thought that a few of us were sandbagging. I definitely wasn't sandbagging. I accept it wasn't my fastest lap, or fastest possible lap. Definitely wasn't sandbagging, it was just poor driving on my part. And I've bit haunted by this half a second time penalty that I've got, and you'll see why in a second. Very difficult, this double left-hander here. Wasn't sure whether it's fourth gear, fifth gear, whether I needed to flick down into fourth or not, and you'll see during the race that I kept changing every time I went through that section. Still wasn't sure which was the quickest way through. And as we come up to sector time here, there we go, look, is that 5 tenths faster than Lando. Boris now at 2:07.8, so we were on for a 2:07.3 at least. We've hit the just taken the penalty, and generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, the penalty system on Gran Turismo costs you about double whatever the penalty is, so it's at least a second it's cost me, but that's quite a long straight as well through Blanchimont down to the chicane, and that's cost me that speed all the way through that section. I was across the line, actually only good enough for fifth fastest, 8 nearly 9 tenths off of Lando's pace. So even if that half-second penalty did only cost me a second, I would have been the fastest car out there, and I would have been starting right at the very back in 12th place. Instead I'm starting in 8th, so yes, I started further forward than I should have done. So you know, traction control 2, brake balance 2 to the front, radar on, and away we go. 10-minute race, and the race finishes the next time you cross the start finish line after that 10-minute timer was counted down to 0. So these reverse race starts, or reverse grid starts, they're a little bit strange because obviously everyone in front of you in theory is slower, and of course by default everyone behind you is faster. A little bit different for me in this one because obviously I'm aware that I have that penalty on the quali lap, so I'm fairly confident I'm faster than most of the people behind as well, if not all of them, and we have only got 7 cars to overtake in 10 minutes. But this is a very, very fast track I'm not that familiar with, as I've said before. I say not familiar, I know the layout, I'm just not particularly fast here. I've come through Les Combes. This opening lap, I'm just trying to get a feel for what everyone else is doing in front of me, where their braking points are, etc. Don't want to be ramming anyone off. I want all my moves to be as clean as I possibly can get them. Not really many opportunities to overtake through that section, a few maybe, but nothing on that go. Here we're just trying to tease Timmy a little bit, trying to force him into a mistake. He takes that first part of this double left-hander a little bit wide because he wasn't sure if we were on the inside or not, but we were never going for, well, not on this lap, we weren't going for a move there anyway. It was more about trying to intimidate him into making a mistake, if I'm entirely honest. Don't quite get that corner particularly right, and we certainly didn't ride any curb on the inside there, hence go a little bit wide on the exit. I think we had to get off the throttle slightly, and Timmy is pulling away as we come down into Blanchimont for the first time. Don't go too wide on the entry, that seemed to be my MO during quali, kept getting that penalty there. And under braking into the chicane, we're right up behind him again. In fact, we give him a little tap there, another little tap there. We didn't mean to do any of that, but I have to take my hat off to Timmy. He moved out of the way. I think he recognised that we were quicker and he was holding us up, so fair play to Timmy for that. He's moved out of the way. We're up into P5. We gained a couple of places, clearly missed it, but I recall that up at Les Combes on the first lap, a couple of the front runners stacked it, so we gained a couple of places there, and now we've obviously just got past Timmy. So we come down the Kemmel Straight for the second time, far too far back for possibly even slipstream, let alone making a move into Les Combes. Closed up quite quickly on Mitchell Morgan. Said he's got past Mitchell, it's his lobby. He was letting people through, but I wasn't sure what he was going to do here, so I wasn't intending to make a move down the inside. Again, just trying to sort of put him off, but he went off the side of the road there and let everybody through for some reason. Not quite sure what that was all about, but anyway, back to our race. Sedgy in front, so let's focus on trying to chase him down. And as we come through this double left-hander, I'm sorry I don't know the name of this those corners, but we're caught right up with Sedgy again, just showing our car in his mirror as we go into that third gear right-hander there. Just trying to put him under a bit of pressure, filling up his mirrors with our NSX. And as we come out of Stablo, we've got the better exit. And again, hats off to Sedgy here. We don't leave him much room on the outside. I'm not sure there was any contact. He seemed a little bit wide going in there anyway. I hope he didn't get a penalty. I have no clue whether or not he got a penalty. We go deep into the chicane because we forgot about the effects of slipstream. But we got the place. And I'm fairly confident there wasn't any contact there. And at the end of the second lap, we've now set the fastest lap for 2:08.9. So I don't think that's too far off of the time we actually qualified with, to be honest. But again, each lap that goes by, we're getting a bit quicker and a bit quicker, generally speaking, just as we get more familiar with the car, more familiar with the track. Coming up to the halfway point in the race, we've managed to gain 5 places. We're currently 2.6 seconds off the lead. There's not a huge amount of overtaking places on this track. You can muscle your way through in a few places, but I like to try and make the moves as clean as I possibly can. And the better thing for me is to try putting people under pressure so that they make the mistake, and I can just sail past. As we come down here for the third time, you see we've got Ribs in front, half a second ahead. I didn't seem to really catch him a great deal through that section, and I was thinking he's going to be difficult to pass. He does go a little bit wide. He's not taking the optimum line, and we close the gap up slightly. And then as we come into Stavlo, we get a nice touch of the apex there, kicks the back end round. We've got his slipstream, but again, I really seem to be gaining. I'm beginning to wonder whether or not I'm going to be able to get past this guy. And Kiru in P1 is clearly being caught, but Ribs puts a wheel on the grass there as he's under braking into the chicane and gets it all sorts of wrong. So we've gained another place up into P2, another fastest lap, this time a 2:07.4. Come out of La Source. Ribs is not very happy about that. Can't say as I blame him really, if I'm honest. Through a rouge up into Radion. Just trying to pick up a bit of slipstream off Kuru. Again, too far back to make a move. 7 tenths back. About 60 metre braking point there into Lecum. And we've closed up hugely. It's down to 0.4 of a second behind now. So we took 3 tenths out of Kuru in that section. And still 2.5 minutes to go. So there's 2 laps of the race to go. Right on his back bumper, down to 3 tenths now. We get that a little bit wrong there, but in fairness, Kuru also goes wide on the exit. So we've dropped back slightly, now back down to 7 tenths behind Kuru. As we come down into this, I quite like this section, this nice little technical section. Don't get it particularly perfect on that occasion, but good enough that we've closed the gap a little bit. 6 tenths behind, 2 tenths down on our fastest lap so far. And we're conscious that the time is running out now. We only have one more lap to go. We're 3/4 of a second back as we come into the chicane for what will be the penultimate time. Took it a little bit better that time. Kuru gets a bit of a twitch on the way out, and we're now 4 tenths behind. Come into La Source. Kuru goes a little bit wide, misses the apex. We get a much better exit. He moves over to the right. I think he made a mistake there. I think he should have stuck to the left. But anyway, he left us room. We're down the inside. And the other mistake he makes here, so there's no way I'm pulling out of that move. I was ahead. But the mistake he made there is he should have backed off slightly earlier and then tucked into my slipstream. And there's every possibility down this Camel Straight that he could have got me up the inside or around the outside into Lecombe here, but because he backed off, he lost all momentum and didn't get the opportunity. As we come through this section, again, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know the minute I hit the front and there's only a lap left, the nerves start to kick in and my driving standards go through the floor, quite frankly. And Kuru's putting me under pressure here, no doubt about it. But we're just trying to keep it clean. So I'm losing a bit of speed, but trying to focus on keeping the car on the track. You'll notice through this section, Kuru's dropped back a little bit. And as I look in the mirror here and think, has he gone wide? He's dropped back for some reason. Come through this technical section again. Don't get that right at all. Even I'm driving poorly. But in the rear view mirror there, Kuru goes very wide and into the gravel. And suddenly, the relief as we notice the gap between ourselves and Kuru going up and up and up. Only a couple more corners to go. We're already celebrating. We know we've won it. Just got to keep it on the track. And that's a win from us from 8th place. I hope you like that one, guys. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button too. Just let this play out as we cross the finish line, and that's P1. That was quite stressful, but you can see I was quite pleased with that one. Quite pleased with that one indeed, and ended up beating Kuru by 5 seconds. So good result and a really, really good, clean race. Thanks again, guys. See you on the next one.